Question 14. Can rebuild Btrieve files created in the Btrieve v3.x format, or is it needed to run another upgrade utility first? Answer. Rebuilding Btrieve files is possible using rebuild. If they have not extended across a volume, convert4 should be used after the files have been extended. For the purpose of translating Btrieve v3.x files to v4.x format, later we can run rebuild. Btrieve v4.x and v5.x files can also be rebuilt using rebuild. Question 15. If an application runs 24 hours a day, how to perform a backup? Answer. Once a file is opened by Btrieve, no other user application can open it until Btrieve closes that file. The operating system's copy command will not work. One can back up the Btrieve file using butil operations. Butil operations uses clone for creation of a backup file, followed by clone. Copy command is used to back up the records from one file to backup file. Question 16. Suppose when I perform a getNext extended operation, Btrieve returns a status 62. What does this mean? Answer. The 62 status is an error in the descriptor, extractor. The first 2 bytes of the data buffer need to contain the exact length of the data buffer that are sent to getNext extend operation. The data buffer length need not be the 4 exact length. If any other variable is defined, the data buffer would be overwritten. Question 17. Using the netware Btrieve NLM v6.0, Btrmo and Gmo show files as opened by a different user than the one that originally opened the files, and I can't back up or close those files. Why does this happen and what is the solution? Answer. When netware time restrictions are enforced and any user's connection to netware is terminated, the Btrieve files remain open to that connection. If a new user logs in and uses the same connection ID, the monitor utilities will show all the files opened by new user. All these files have opened by Btrieve. Backup can be taken when they are not in continuous operations mode. As the necessary Btrieve position blocks are not available, the user cannot access these files. The application should perform an explicit Btrieve reset operation in order to avoid leaving files open, or the workstation should reboot before netware time restrictions take effect. Question 18. When I run the netware Btrieve v5.15 NLM with some applications on netware v3.11, retrieve Btrieve data is incorrect but not corrupted. It appears as if the wrong records are being accessed intermittently. What should I do? Answer. To ensure the data retrieval correctly by Btrieve, use the latest version of netware shell IPX v3.10, NITX v3.22 or NITX v3.26. Make sure that latest request.x is running. Verify the Btrieve data file's page size. If the pages are not evenly divisible into 4K, netware mishandles the pages. Use only the pages of sizes 512K, 1024K, 2048K, or 4096K. The situation would be resolved by using netware patcher syncrofx.nlm. Question 19. After upgrading to netware v3.11 and the netware Btrieve NLM v5.15, Btrieve is running slower than expected. What are the factors and how to fix them? Answer. The following are the factors. The page sizes of Btrieve are set to 1024 and 512 bytes. All the workstations are configured with IPX v2.15. The disk block size was set to a size apart from default 4K block size. These factors cause a minor Btrieve performance degradation. The following are the combination of factors to improve performance. Rebuild the file size of Btrieve with a page size of 4096 bytes. Upgrade IPX to v3.10. Recreate all the volumes block size with 4K. Question 20. What is a status 1015? Answer. Prior to starting the application, if the environment variable set tpmshku equals y is specified, the status 1015 is returned. Isolation of errors that are caused by passing invalid pointers to Btrieve is done by using this environment variable. Once this variable is set, Btrieve performs the validation on pointer parameters that are passed in to read/write access on certain ranges. Btrieve validates position block pointer on the range of 128 bytes. Length pointer validates on 2 bytes and data buffer is validated on 255 bytes for key buffer. Question 21. Why does Btrieve return a status 22 if one perform a stat operation, even though the maximum number of key spec buffers 24 are allocated? Answer. The reasons for this are: an alternate collating sequence might be used. This requires to allocate an additional 265 bytes in the data buffer. 9 bytes are allocated for the name of the collating sequence and 256 bytes are allocated for actual sequence. Question 22. When I perform a getNext extended operation, Btrieve returns a status 62. What does this mean? Answer. The 62 status is an error in the descriptor extractor. The first 2 bytes of the data buffer need to contain the exact length of the data buffer that are sent to getNext extend operation. The data buffer length need not be the 4 exact length. If any other variable is defined, the data buffer would be overwritten. Question 23. Why doesn't rebuild netweb Btrieve v6.x files? Answer. You should use rebuild in cases where you are converting data files from v5.x format to a v6.x format. Once the files are in v6.x format, they are considered to be rebuilt. If the file shows signs of data corruption, reload the data into a new file. Steps for reloading data are described in the netweb Btrieve 6.10c readme file. Question 24. Netweb Btrieve returns a status 94 permission error. When I try to access the record manager on a netweb runtime server, request is loaded with /c:1 supervisor _pw. What should I do? Answer. When accessing Btrieve on a netweb runtime server, the user must have a username other than supervisor. The supervisor username and password cannot be used on this server to access netweb Btrieve. Load request with /c:1 username, password. Question 25. What does the error bscom bad connection add-on send mean? Answer. Btrieve has sent a message to a workstation that has been timed out by the netweb watchdog. To prevent the message, increase the SPX watchdog abort timeout, SPX ACK wait timeout, and SPX watchdog verify timeout parameters on the server where bscom.nlm is loaded. Also increase the SPX abort timeout, SPX listen timeout, and SPX verify timeout parameters in the net.cfg file on the workstation. Question 26. When moving from the netweb Btrieve NLM v5.x to the netweb Btrieve NLM v6.x, do I have to convert the 5.x files to a6.x format? Answer. The netweb Btrieve NLM v6.10x has built-in support for v5.x files. System administrators can choose whether or not to convert the Btrieve data files in order to upgrade the ONLM to 6.10x. As always, read the README that comes with Btrieve for up-to-date directions on moving from one version to the next.